If I had to lose 100 pounds again, I would do so many things differently because not only did I have 100 pounds worth of weight to lose, I also had 100 pounds worth of bad habits, poor mindset, and really just poor belief in myself that came with it as well. So here are the top 6 things that I would do differently. And the last one might surprise you. What is up, everyone? My name is Alfonso Lopez and I am the owner of Let's Work, a coaching company where we help men and women become the best version of themselves through health and fitness. And obviously by the hook intro of this video, you already know what the topic is today. What I would do differently if I had to lose 100 pounds again. So let's start off. Number 1, I would prioritize protein and having a basic understanding of nutrition. I've talked about this before and really time and time again, but whenever it came to me losing 100 pounds, I had no idea what I was doing nutrition-wise. Zero. Essentially, my entire philosophy was eat less, move more. So if I did not weigh less than what I did the day prior, well then I would pretty much just slash my calories even more, which it wasn't that much to begin with, like 1,100, 1,000 to begin with, and I would just move more. And because of that, I felt like I was spinning my wheels a lot more times than I would like to admit, where if I would have actually prioritized protein, which tells your body to rebuild muscle tissue and burn body fat, and carbohydrates and fats around my training sessions or in the morning, I would have seen results a lot quicker. Because something that I always tell people is like, whenever I started to prioritize my protein intake towards the end of my fat loss journey, like the last 20 pounds to lose, that is when I made the most amount of progress and also when I felt the best about myself. Because 1, I was actually fueling my body properly, and 2, my body had the fuel to actually like operate like a normal human being. So not only was I losing fat and building muscle and performing better in the gym, I just felt better throughout my everyday life because I actually had the energy to do so. So prioritizing my protein and nutrition would be key if I had to do that again. Number 2, I would focus on building muscle instead of just burning calories. Like I said in the previous clip, my entire philosophy was eat less and move more. That moving more really just consisted of doing a ridiculous amount of cardio. So pretty much during that time, what I would do is before I would work out, I would do a cardio, like do about 30, 40 minutes of cardio. Honestly, sometimes maybe just run them out, whatever it is that I want to do that day, right? I would do the cardio, lift weights, do more cardio. It's kind of some weird backward thinking. I don't know where I got it from, but it just worked in my head, right? Essentially what I was trying to do was break a sweat, break more of a sweat, and keep sweating. When in reality, I should have just really focused on lifting weights and building muscle and getting stronger there, because the more muscle that you have on your frame, the more calories that you burn. So if I would have been prioritizing my nutrition, prioritize the weightlifting, I would have made progress a whole lot quicker. Granted, I'm grateful I did it the way that I did, so that way you watching this video do not have to do that as well. I just kind of still beat myself up over about it because I'm like, man, you took a year of your time to lose this weight when you probably could have taken 6 months if you just would have prioritized your protein intake and also weightlifting instead of cardio. Cardio is just a tool. It's very important. You should do cardio, but using it as a tool instead of this thing that you think is going to help you lose the weight like all the time is just backwards thinking. It's just a tool, treat it as such. Number 3, I would stop looking for shortcuts or magic pills. For some reason in college, whenever I was trying to lose, or whenever I was losing majority of this weight, I had this thing where I would buy a ton of supplements on a credit card. Granted, it was only $100 and I knew I could pay it off at the end of the month. I would intentionally buy these supplements to hold me accountable and to help me out on my journey, when in reality, I didn't need to be spending all of that money on those supplements because 1, my training wasn't in check, and 2, my nutrition wasn't in check as well. And also my sleep was very poor because I was in college, right? But I spent a lot of money, and because of that, I think I wasted a lot of money and time, when in reality, if I just would have got all these other things in check instead of looking for this magic pill, this fat burner, I would have made progress a whole lot quicker, right? Like, yes, these things did help me on my journey and I'm super grateful that I did them because now I have a better understanding of supplementation and how to properly use supplements and implement them. And looking back, like I said, they definitely did help, but I was trying to lean on them as more or less like, this is gonna be the thing that gets me to where I wanna be, and not looking at the nutrition or training as that getting me to where I wanted to be. So looking at these magic pills and these things that you think are going to help you, granted they might, it's not going to be the formula that you need to be successful whenever it comes to a fat loss journey. So focusing on your nutrition, training, and then supplementation third would be the most ideal thing to do, and what I would do differently for sure. Number 4, I would build mental toughness way sooner. Obviously, you don't get to be 300 pounds without being mentally weak. I was a slave to my emotions. I was a yes man. I had a hard time telling people no. I had a hard time doing things on my own. I had a hard time standing out, where if I would have worked on my mental whenever it came to develop myself mentally and challenging myself and reading books, listening to podcasts, surrounding myself with the right people, I do think I would have made progress a whole lot quicker, because I have this mindset, right? I think a lot of people do whenever it comes to dieting, where it's like, I need to have a cheat meal, right? It's like, you've been cheating on your diet your entire life. I think the last thing that you need is a cheat meal. You just need to be mentally tough and stick through it. Like, yes, I understand people are gonna talk about in the comments, mental, like you wanna have, fun and balance and all this stuff, but it's like, if the goal is to lose weight, the goal is to lose weight. And you have to be mentally tough to do that, because you have to be mentally tough enough to tell people no and to tell yourself no. So if I had to go back in time and restart my journey, I would definitely focus on the mental game sooner. It might honestly be the first thing that I would do, because without the mentality, it's like, yeah, you could lose that weight, but you're going to gain it all back because you didn't actually change the belief that is going on in here. And it's like, granted, you can change the outside, but if you don't ever change the inside, well, that inside eventually comes back out to the outside. So I would work on the mental game a whole lot sooner. And if anything, probably the first thing. Number 5, I would prioritize sleep like my life depends on it, because it does. But like I said, whenever I was in college trying to lose this weight or losing this weight, I was really bad about sleep. When I say really bad, I mean like I would get off work at 10 p.m. and take a 400 milligram pre-workout of caffeine, or 400 milligram caffeine pre-workout, which is ridiculous. I'm 27 now, and you will not catch me doing that at all, because I can barely do 200 and operate like a regular human being. So doing 400 in total today would just completely annihilate me. But I did it all the time as a 18 and 19-year-old kid. And because of that, it disrupted my sleep. I wasn't getting the quality sleep that I needed. I wasn't telling my body to properly recover. I wasn't bringing my cortisol back down to a base level. And because of that, I was just stalling myself fat loss-wise, trying to will my way through it and force my way through it. When in reality, if I would have prioritized sleep, I would have gotten there a whole lot quicker and make this journey a whole lot shorter. Honestly, not as difficult as I've made it out to be. So number 5, prioritize sleep like my life depended on it. Number 6, this one might actually surprise you, but I promise you I'm being true here, or real here. I would actually enjoy the journey. Whenever we set goals, right, we get excited for the goals. We want to accomplish the goal as fast as possible. And because of that, sometimes it takes us out of the present moment, when in reality, we accomplish that goal and we look back and we're like, man, the journey leading up to accomplish this goal was worth more than the goal itself at times. And personally, whenever I was losing this weight, like I said, it was in college. I was a freshman. I didn't know what I was doing. I was out on my own for the first time personally. And I was honestly just on this path of self-discovery. And because of that, it was one of the funnest times that I had. I didn't have many friends. Of course, I had my select group, my handful of friends, but it was really just me figuring it out, working out at random times throughout the day, doing random workouts, trying to figure out the solution to my problem or what the equation was going to be. And it truly was just one of the funnest times that I've ever had, because I was just throwing everything out the window, or like at the board, to like figure out this problem that I had. And I just had a lot of fun doing it. Granted, while I was during it, it didn't feel like that, right? Like I felt like I was just banging my head across the board and being like, man, this is not working. But after losing that weight, and reflecting and looking back, I'm like, man, that was one of the funnest times that I've ever had, because that laid the foundation to who I am now. And it's something that I'm super grateful for. So in closing, if I had to lose 100 pounds again, that is exactly what I would do. Granted, if I had to lose it again, I would, because who you become in that process is worth so much more than the 100 pounds itself. It's becoming the man that it is that you were ultimately meant to become, or the woman as well. And it's just something that I wouldn't take for granted. So if you are someone that is on that journey as well, where you're trying to lose weight, maybe it's 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 50, or let's say it's even 100 plus, right? I would try to take these things and implement them into your life or into your journey, so that way you don't have to go through the struggles that it is that I went through. But at the end of the day, something that I will say again is that if I had to do it again, I would, because who you become in the process is worth so much more than just the 100 pounds itself. So if you like this video, you found value in this video, make sure to subscribe, comment, tell a friend about this video, and I'll see you guys for the next one.